For Gonzaga, we have head coach Kelly Graves, student athletes Hayden Palmer and Kayla Standish. First, coach, if you could, an opening comment on the game this afternoon.
Well, first, I want to congratulate the Cougars. I mean, they're a good basketball team. We had three, great battles with them. Unfortunately, they won the rubber match. But they're just solid. They're a good team. They played harder than we did tonight. They did some things offensively we struggled with. And I just thought they played really well, and I give them the credit. At the same time, I'm proud of my team. I thought we competed hard. I thought we gave everything we had. It just wasn't enough tonight, especially on the defensive end. For whatever reason, we just weren't clicking. But regardless, this has been a phenomenal group to coach. 26-5 at this point, and to go through the double round robin, the regular season as champions, I think is a great credit to this group.
Questions? Chip?
Kayla, can you talk about having to defend them? What made them so difficult to guard? They shot a very high percentage.
Well, yeah, obviously their shooting percentage was pretty well. Their inside game, they played a lot better tonight. Big girl inside was tough. So, like Coach said, we weren't clicking on defense.
When you guys say you were clicking, I mean, you still had in the 20s in turnovers. What was it specifically that you felt, that you could have done better?
I guess just keeping the ball out of the hands of the key players, and then really crashing the boards. They got a few offensive rebounds at the end, some crucial ones. So I think just finishing the play all the way through.
Kayla, I didn't see the last game when Hampson only had 1 point. What was the difference in what she did tonight and what she did at Gonzaga?
I think she just got lower in the paint. If she's inside the key, she's kind of unstoppable against us. So, yeah.
Keys to the game from your point of view?
Last game we outscored them in the paint, so I think that was a big emphasis for them, was to get kind of back at us for that, and which I'm sure they did. And then executing on offense, we were kind of going wild for a little bit out in our own islands, so I think just executing and maintaining them.
Executing what?
Executing on the offensive end and maintaining them on our defense.
Hayden, talk about both ends of it. Your offensive game tonight was on, but also the defensive challenge those guys posed for you.
Yeah, same thing. Just we had some breakdowns. I think when we were clicking, we made them take tough shots. They still made some of the tough shots, but and then towards the end we just didn't box out at the end. A lot of it was just coming off of screens and hitting shots. We had to do a better job of getting through the screens or helping, so just fell apart there.
Anything further for the student athletes?
Coach, they threw a few different looks at you defensively at the end of the first half. Could you talk about the different looks they gave you and their defensive scheme overall?
Well, I don't think what they did defensively affected us much. They threw that little kind of extended 2-3 zone, and actually I thought we got some pretty good shots off it. So I don't think that was much of a factor at all. They're pretty straightforward in what they do. They don't try to trick you. They've been known to pick people up full court, and they haven't done that against us really, because we just quite frankly haven't had much issue with it.
Any further questions for the student athletes?
Do you feel that obviously you hate to let it come in a loss, but is this your best game individually, do you think, in college, or at least this season?
No, only if you win the game at the end.
Student athletes are excused. Thank you. Questions for Coach Graves? But
Kelly, maybe it's stating the obvious, but just the difficulty in defending the inside-outside game of BYU, it just looked like it could never quite get a handle on it.
No, and No, we didn't, and I don't know exactly what they did differently. I'll have to look at the film. I didn't notice anything offhand that they were doing differently to get the ball inside. Like I said, last week at our place, we outscored them 46-18 in the paint. And, and this time they turned the tables on us a little bit. I think part of it is they wanted to get a little bit deeper. Hampson looked a lot more engaged tonight than she did last week. She was a lot more aggressive. And with all due respect to Kristen Riley, I think she's a terrific player. Haley Steed's the player that makes that team go. And she's just so difficult, and we didn't do a great job of containing her. And so she would get into the paint, and some of their other players would. And then, they kicked it out to Peterson tonight along the baseline, and she didn't miss. And that starts with penetration, and it also starts with Steed. I just think she's a terrific ball player, and I know a little bit about great point guards.
Coach, aside from the outcome, the atmosphere inside there, was that everything you could have hoped for?
That was nice. I don't pay much attention to that. I mean, we obviously love our fans. They've been great. They travel with us. They make a huge difference. I personally, as a coach, I'm oblivious to that and most things, if you want to know the truth. But we really appreciate the support. We do. I don't want to poo-poo that by any stretch. And I thought BYU brought a lot of fans. I didn't know what they would bring. I knew the Zag fans would be here. But I thought it was a really good atmosphere. I like having the tournament in Las Vegas. We're 7-1 here now. This was our first loss. So obviously we like to come here and play. And I think the WCC's done a really good job of making this an event, a special event.
Jason?
Kelly Peterson taking those shots, was that something you were comfortable with, especially early?
No, I thought our help was too deep. And at times I didn't think we had to help as much as we did, and they did a nice job of finding her there. We know she can shoot. We didn't want her to. We wanted to actually put a little bit more pressure, but we just did a poor job of getting a hand up on her. And to her credit, she's. My guess is she doesn't always shoot like that from that range, but did today.
Kelly, you were going along pretty good at the offensive end for probably 15 minutes or so. What changed? What got you off course there?
I don't know. I think we got a little bit soft, especially inside. I thought in the stretch where they separated from us a little bit. I remember saying in the under-8 timeout, it's going to take 5 of us to get back in the game. And then the first 3 possessions after that, we took a 3. We took a 1-pass jumper, and then we took a bad drive, and I think just a poor drive. Went one-on-one with no passes. So, and then it just kind of snowballs. And they're a good team. They capitalized on it. But we've been like that this year. We've had lulls offensively. It's been part of our character, unfortunately.
Yes.
Kelly, Jeff Judkins had talked all week about the league deserving 2 teams, but maybe privately he wasn't so sure about his team. Could you speak to maybe the element of desperation, how hard that is maybe for a team to match in this case?
Well, I don't know what their motivation was. I have no idea about all that kind of stuff. I don't think they wanted to win the game any more than we did. They might have had some desperation in their play. I don't know. I know we wanted to win. We didn't want to share this with anybody. I have a group of seniors that have won 4 conference championships outright, and they were going for a 4th straight conference tournament championship, and that would be obviously something that nobody's ever done, and nobody could ever do anything better. So we were motivated. We didn't have any excuse tonight. We just got beat by a better team today.
Kelly, what do you do between now and next Monday with the team? How do you keep them where they need to be as you sit around now and have to wait?
Well, they have school. We usually have spring break this week, but we actually have school, so they got to go back. Student, athlete. I'm a coach. I'm going to go out and recruit because I got to find better players to compensate for my coaching abilities. And so I'll hit the road, and we won't hook up as a team. They'll lift and run and do some things like that, but we won't have practice until Saturday. And this is nothing that we've done differently than all the years past. So I won't get to see him until Saturday. Selection Monday is a week away, and I feel good about our chances. We have a really nice resume. We don't have any bad losses. We have 3 top 50 wins. We won the conference championship outright by 2 games. People forget that, and we have pedigree. We have history in this tournament. And I think people sometimes forget this is a team that has won 6 NCAA games in the last 3 years. So we have our sights set high, and this was obviously we're disappointed today, but I told our kids, hey, keep their heads up because we hopefully will be playing at home in 2 weeks.
One more question.
Do you have any doubt you'll be selected, Kelly?
Well, listen, you never know. But I'm real confident in what we've done. I look around and I just think this is a very good basketball team. And we got beat by a better team today, but we're a good basketball team. This is as good a group as I've ever coached, and I've coached a lot of good ones.
Kelly, thank you.
You bet.